Hello and welcome back to the Druidic Stormcloud channel where we are playing Final Fantasy XIV. We are going to be grabbing the job quests for White Mage. So, continuing the class quests for Conjurer. At long last, we have acquired the necessary level, point of the story, and many other things. Well, we have long had the appropriate level, but we're also streaming. And there you go, a message from me. Options, they're all options. They are not guaranteed, so I'll go with the money. Greetings, Kiara. You radiate the confidence of a conjurer who neglects not her studies of the elements. I confess, I have no lessons for you to learn this day. Instead, I would ask that you aid me in the education of another. Yes, I speak of Selphie. After no small amount of prompting, bordering on coercion, the child has finally promised to attempt to embrace the forces of nature. But I'm afraid this matter is not so easily resolved. Selphie has never attempted to learn the basics of learn the basic offensive spells that you and most other conjurers mastered before first venturing into the wilds. As such, she is ill-prepared to undertake the trials which furnish you and your peers with understanding of the elements. Put simply, she is no match for the tainted spirits of nature. But if a more capable conjurer were to accompany her and purify the corruption in her stead, it may yet serve to impress upon her the power of the forces at work. I bade you take her on a pilgrimage around the Twelveswood. Give her the opportunity to witness these confrontations firsthand. Each element, or earth, wind, water, she must know them all. Show her the majesty and primal ferocity of nature. As it was with you, let earth be your first lesson. Sophie awaits you at the Bent Branch Meadow. Pray forgive my presumption, but I thought it best to send her on ahead while her conviction remains strong. Once you have located the patch of corrupted soil at Bent Branch, draw forth the tainted spirit, let her witness the struggle that ensues. May the elementals aid you in your endeavor, Kiara. Selphie's trial is in Central Shroud. Gonna drink some water quick. Okay. what is this quest? This is Bent Branch. That's just where Selfie is? Oh, I wasn't sure you'd come. You are kind to help me. I've done nothing but mock you. Well, if you're ready, the corrupted soil is just there. I promise I'll be paying attention. Ah! I wasn't scared. I was just a little startled, that's all. It was as if a mass of solid wrath had erupted from the ground. I've never felt anything never mind. We have to head to the Bannock next. Let's get this over with. We need to go this way, and then that way. Here we go. This seems to be the place. I'll be watching, so do whatever it is you do. Gods! The wind blew straight through me. It felt both gentle and sharp at the same time. I can't explain it. This is something you can conjure? Let's be on our way. The last one is at Lilystone. And here we go! The last one for Selfie's elemental lesson. I mean, we're basically her teacher at the moment. tainted water is here. Show me how it's done then. The lake is so beautiful. I never noticed how clearly the sky was reflected in its surface. I never noticed. Let's sit back. I'm ready to speak with the guildmaster now. I'm also going to need to take a moment to... Wait, I can take this to also get back to New Gridania. I mean, I need to buy better armor at some point. I will see if there's any way to separate things from stream or from my videos to with the stream marker, because if that's possible, then that means I don't have to keep stopping and restarting, which might actually be kicking people, I'm starting to think. It's not supposed to, mind you. Yeah, it's supposed to have disconnect protection. Honestly, if I had something that could easily sort through everything, then that would be much better, but at the moment, I don't. Welcome back, my avid conjurers. How fared you in your encounter with the elementals, or with the elements? Sylphie, what did you sense as Kiara cleansed the sources of corruption? It's hard to explain. It was like hearing voices crying out in joy. And I felt their happiness wash over me. The world seemed sharper, more alive. It was almost as if nature was speaking to me. But why, Brother Isumi? Why did my mother teach me to avoid the sight of conjury? What was she so afraid of? There are certain truths that hide behind the mask of our words, and there is much that your mother didn't tell you. But you needn't seek all the answers at once, Selphie. Even now, your mind founders amid a sudden inauguration of awareness. The first time we connect with nature can be a wondrous but disorienting experience. I suggest you allow yourself some time to adjust to this new perspective. Yes, Guildmaster. You have my gratitude, Kiara. Thanks to you, Selphie has taken a most important step. You heard her mention voices crying out in joy, did you not? It appears the mother's gifts has been passed on to the daughter. Such sensitivity is not something one can achieve through meditation and training, but a blessing that only a few fortunate chosen receive. And, as you've no doubt surmised, Selphie's mother was one such person. The misunderstanding of that blessing, however, was what led her down such a tragic path. We cannot allow Selphie's astonishing talents to consume her in the same manner. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. The girl has barely awoken to her potential. And for that potential to be fully realized, your support is yet needed. I suspect she failed to mention that the promise of your involvement in her lessons was the reason for her change of heart. You underestimate the impression your quiet determination has made on young Selphie. If modesty prevents you from acknowledging your own good deed, consider this task a part of your training. For conjurers are healers of wounds, be they physical or otherwise. Walk with her on her journey, Kiara, and together explore the myriad mysteries of nature. Complete. We're going to take the money option. Welcome, Kiara. The tales of your deeds reach me even here in the cloistered heart of the still-glade fane. Glad I am that you have come, for I wish to ask your assistance on a matter of some delicacy. It concerns young Selphie yet again. As you can no doubt imagine, the recent revelations concerning her mother have sorely troubled the poor child. It appears Selphie needed time alone to sort through the whirlwind of emotions which now beset her. She has, in short, fled from the guild. Fortunately, a party of conjurers who were dispatched to the South Shroud to investigate another instance of corruption sent word that they had spotted our wayward Selphie. Considering the importance of their mission, I would not seek to distract the conjurers from their task. Thus, I turn to you to escort Selphie back here to the guild. You are, I believe, one of the few people to whom she will listen. Pray, travel to Boscaroon Struthers and speak with Wolfu. She was the conjurer who first chanced upon Selphie, and will be able to tell you more about how the young lady fares. So we are going back where I thought we would. This is a most fortunate turn of events. That is in the central and below. Those lightning sparks have a different mark around them. Oh. Wait, this wasn't the way I wanted to go. My equipment's doing good. Oh, when you stop moving, the music slows down and quiets down. It's just... that's a nice touch. But like I said in an earlier portion of this 24-hour stream, I don't understand why they have yet to add Green Mage. I mean, status afflictions are the key point in this, but it can also actually heal. So if they threw it in healer, but gave it more status afflictions than healing, then I feel like that would be an interesting character possibility. I always like having at least one green mage in my party when they're available. Making the enemies too weak to do anything is an excellent strategy. Let's turn in the main story quest. Ah, you've returned. Thank you for seeing Tataroon's belongings to him. What's this, for me? Kikrin Firewater? So he remembers my fondness for the drink, does he? Why, that old oh, bloody hells. Who's cutting onions back there? He says to shelve it for a year, does he? Aye, that sounds about right. I hate to have to wait, but I reckon it'll be worth it. This stuff has an aroma that bloody and body like any other... unlike any other drink that I know. It's going to be a long year. Let's see you come back then, friend. We'll see if we can't make it through this bottle together. And I'll grab the next story quest. There was no word while you were away. Or there was word while you were away. Sylphs were seen in the woods, but near no lands of their own. No, this was a place near to here. A place we've never known Sylph to come. Something must have given them cause to venture thus far. More than like the missing sylph elder among them. Here, I've marked the tract where they were sighted on your map. Go see if there's anything to be seen. But I won't. We meet again, Kiara. I assume Brother Isumi warned you of the corruption my companions and I have been tasked with purifying here in South Shroud. The source of this extensive blight is found to the southeast. The shrill, discordant voices of the elementals shriek in their dismay in the vicinity of the withered Trent. I suggest you give the area a wide berth. Considering the potential dangers, you might imagine how alarmed I was to discover young Sylphie wandering around this part of the Twelveswood. It seems that her mother, a woman who healed with conjury but remained untrained by the guild, called this region her home. Sylphie's... One moment. Okay, better. Sylphie herself had her head buried in some manner of tome. But if she is as sensitive to the elementals' murmurings as I am led to believe, then she might den within her mind. Then the den within her mind must be driving her to distraction. Pray speak with the child as well, or see that the child is well. I would do so myself if our current duty were not so pressing. We will, in fact, be setting out at any moment. Oh, that's for that one. Not that one. That one is over here. There you are, Selfie. Kiara, I should have known that Wolfu would tattle on me, and Brother Isumi sent you to take me back, didn't he? This is where my mother used to live, you know. Right up until she passed on. Folks were grateful for the healing she offered. And this is the journal she used to keep. There's an entry that explains how nature becomes furious when conjurers use their art. How there are always more people wounded in battles when mortals abuse the power that is not theirs to take. Mother refused to draw on nature because she was scared of making it angry. She wouldn't lie about such things, and I want to do what she would have wanted. I'm going to stop using conjury altogether. Ugh. Never heard the voices of nature this mad before. I bet it's because Wolfu and the others are overusing their art. We have to go and stop them. That's they're trying to fix the problem. I'll include this as part of it. There's the destination. Okay. Here we go. Gods, it's so loud. Can't you hear it? Nature is shrieking in rage. Here we go. Yeah, I have to focus on destroying this ammo. Too many other things. can't believe nature actually helped us. There was nothing scary about it at all. I might still wonder if it really was safe for conjurers to borrow power, or that power, if I hadn't seen the way you wield it. Nothing could seem more natural. I think it's time I went back to the guild. There are a few things I need to collect first, so please go on ahead without me. Thank you for your timely assistance. With the origin of the corruption now neutralized, we should be able to cleanse whatever traces remain. Let's head back and get the white mage job. Welcome back, Kiara. And you also, Selfie. Brother Isumi, I'm sorry I ran away like that. I understand, child. Did you find the answer or the answers you sought? Yes, thanks to Kiara. She showed me that nature was nothing to be afraid of. I think I know why my mother refused to call upon its power. She believed the act caused suffering to nature itself. I see. So it was her very love for nature that prevented her from drawing on its strength. Tell me, Selfie, has the fog of indecision now been lifted from your mind? It has, Grand Guildmaster. I understand now why my mother chose the path that she did. Full glad I am to hear that. For I must ask you one more question. Yes, Brother Isumi? When you first witnessed Kiara cleanse a corrupted element, you mentioned hearing voices. How exactly did they sound? The voices? Well, they sounded joyful, like a crowd letting out a sudden cheer. I really heard them, I swear. I'm sure you did, Selfie. That is a gift. Conjurers may sense the power of nature and borrow from its strength, but not all can hear its whisper. What you described are the voices of the elementals. You may very well possess the talent to become a healer, a hearer. A hearer? Of course, much relies on your studies of conjury. You have a natural aptitude, but have thus far lacked commitment. You must not neglect your training, Selfie. Putting aside such matters for the moment, I am curious to hear about the disturbance you observed in South Shroud, Kiara. I assume from the reports I have received that it was of a different magnitude to those which you have previously encountered. Am I correct? This bodes ill. The creatures known as mud pies are not native to the Twelveswood. I wonder what relation this may have with the seemingly ever-increasing frequency of these disturbances. Something beyond the damage wrought by the calamity afflicts the Twelveswood. I shall commune with the elementals and seek to identify this threat. Kiara, Selfie, I may have need of you both before long. Until then, give yourselves over to the study of our art. Ever shall the earth meet your footfalls, and the wind guide your path. Level 41! Kiara. Ah, Kiara. Your presence here is most welcome. I have another task which your maturing skills are well suited. Attend to me closely. Expansive wounds that ooze corruption have formed throughout the forest. After examining the traces of the sizable disturbance you previously cleansed, I can only conclude that this phenomenon is the work of a malign agent. It must be found swiftly, lest the corruption spread. I would have you assist in the investigation. Guildmaster, you must let me help. Selfie. Once I got back from the South Shroud, I spent all my time studying the forces of nature. I even sat through one of Healer Noel's lectures. The 12-Sword is crying out in pain. My skills are still a bit lacking in some areas, but I want to do what I can for the forest. Lacking? Selfie, you have yet to master a single offensive spell. Without the means to defend yourself, it would be far too dangerous to send you off into the forest alone. So I am to stay here then? Not necessarily. Kiara, with your consent, I would have Selfie accompany you once more. I do not propose this arrangement solely with her safety in mind. Given the nature of the investigation, it's likely that Selfie's innate talent for hearing will prove useful to you as your conjurer will to her. There is much you might accomplish together. Selfie, you are not to approach any source of corruption without Kiara at your side. Do I make myself clear? And should you chance to encounter the origin of these disturbances, do not initiate a confrontation. Too often you allow your curiosity to overwhelm your good sense. Now, go and may the elementals watch over you. Yes, Guildmaster. Something tells me we should start at Quarry Mill and the South Shroud. Meet me there as soon as you can, Kiara. And hurry, the corruption is spreading. Okay. This should be the 30th level one. This should unlock White Mage. The house that Death built. A sight to behold. When does my chocobo companion be able to fight? Is that perhaps another separate license? Okay. We're getting there. Okay, we're going back to the Withered Trent. After I get White Mage, I will resume the main story quest. Here's the tainted soil, Kira. Please do what you can. That was brilliant, Kira, but it was only the start. The forest still groans in pain. I can hear it. I think it's coming from the north? No, the northeast. Let's go have a look. More corrupted soil. Over to you. You're doing really well, Kiara, but I think there's another one. And, well, it calls to me even more fervently than the last. It's to the east, I think. Yes, to the east. Right here, Kiara. The corruption is everywhere. Nice work. The earth here feels healed, and yet there's another disturbance, and it's big, really big. It's hard to describe, but it sort of feels wrong. I think. I think it might actually be what's causing all of this. I know Brother Isumi said we weren't to confront it, but we can't just let it corrupt the rest of the forest. And however powerful it is, it can't be any more powerful than you. You're amazing. What I mean to say is, I'm willing to risk a scolding if you are. It's not far from here. Somewhere to the southeast, I think. Should we at least have a closer look? Level sync in effect, level 34. Yes, this should give me the job. I don't think you need to be able to hear the voices of the forest to notice that, do you, Kiara? The corruption is definitely coming from somewhere around here. That's odd. As soon as we arrived, that sense of wrongness I had suddenly felt less, well, it just felt less. It's almost as if it's holding its breath, or hiding. Do you see that? Just in that one spot, the air seems wrong. Ah! Void scent. Careful, Kira. You'll be paralyzed if you move its gaze. Corruption attracts the worst kinds of monsters. Duty complete. It's amazing, isn't it amazing, Kira? Did the breeze always feel this good? Was the ground always this warm? I'm so glad I finally understand. I just wish I could tell my mother how incredible nature feels. No, I don't want to skip the cutscene. Oh, you're injured. Here. Don't worry. Healing doesn't drain me anymore. Not since I learned how to borrow from nature. And I have you to thank for that, Kiara. Let's return to the guild. We have to explain everything to Brother Isumi. Alright, let's warp on back to Gridania. Zoom on over to the Conjurer's Guild and acquire the White Mage job. Once I have that, I'll purchase gear for level 40s. Welcome back, Kiara, Selfie. Our mission was a success, Guildmaster. Quite. I take it the two of you conspired to defy my orders? Well, the forest was suffering. We couldn't just walk away. It's not Kiara's fault, it's mine. It was my idea. I take full responsibility. Calm yourself, child. You did nothing wrong. Or you did nothing I did not foresee. I am of no mind to lecture you. Indeed, Gridania is indebted to you for your heroic deeds. The corruption born from an Akoman had taken root in the calamity-weakened soil. There's no telling how much further it might have spread if you had not defeated the creature. And if I'm not mistaken, Selfie, you succeeded in drawing upon the energies of nature during the battle. How did you... Yes, I did. I'm not really sure how it happened. I remember thinking how badly I wanted to help Kiara, and then I suddenly felt the power surging through me. That is as it should be. One does not simply choose to borrow from nature's strength. The mind may command only that which the heart permits. In your desperation to help your friend, you opened your heart to nature, and nature responded to your need. But we must not forget your part in this, Kiara. It is clear to me that your journey with Selfie has brought you still closer to the pinnacle of our art. I believe you are ready for the last of my teachings. Thus, it is with great pleasure that I pass on another of our guild's magics. A more potent form of the cure spell is now yours to command. I have no doubt that it will serve you well in your continuing endeavors. Wheresoever you go, nature will go with you, my friend. Ever shall the earth meet your footfalls, and the wind guide your path. You're too... Kiara, I am glad you have come. I have a task that of most urgent and confidential nature, and I can think of none other to whom I can entrust it. You are doubtless familiar with the Seed Seer, yes? Connie Sinna, Elder Seed Seer, leader of the Order of the Twin Adder, and guardian of our fair nation, clearly needs no introduction. But know you also of her siblings, the two young Pajin sisters, Rayen Osina, and brother Avrun Sina, make for Evershgal as we speak, where they will perform a ritual of great import. Verily, such import that it would be no overstatement to say that the very fate of Gridania hangs in the balance. As you know, we dwell in this forest by the good graces of the elementals, eternal guardians of the Twelveswood, and most of all, the Great One who dwells within the guardian tree. Yet our ceaseless warring and ill treatment of the trees that shelter us have aroused the Great One's ire, and it is only by the quieting ritual, the ritual of which I spoke, that he may be placated. Thus did the two seed seers set out for Evershade, Skade, with nary a guard to accompany them. Therein lies the rub, and the nature of the favor I'd like to ask of you, By no means would I question the powers of the seed seers, but with the Great One's anger mounting, the Twelveswood becomes a threatening domain even for the most potent of conjurers. Pray hasten to Everskade, and see no harm befalls the two. Okay, so we can get a unicorn mount too. I am able to I have done some of the quest line for the materia. However, I definitely need to level up my crafting class. Alright, Central Shroud. White Wolf Gate. I am currently wondering when it is that my chocobo can become a fighting companion. There's probably a quest or license I have to get for that. But for now, I'm focusing on getting the white mage. Okay, we gotta go this way. No, not that way. Just south from here. I currently don't have... I still need to get leatherwork a little higher before I can get materia crafting quests done. Level sync is in effect, dropping to level 34. Curses. How can we hope to make the Guardian to the guardian tree with these ghastly creatures bursting forth like rampant weeds. Right. If I'd known what we were in for, I'd have brought along a wood whaler or two. In fact, I dare say we should return and do exactly that. Oh, but do not be such a coward, sister. We are seed seers. These overgrown vermin are no match for us. Bold words, brother, but were they true words, we would have dispatched our enemies and arrived safely at our destination bells ago. A conjurer, are you? Brother Isumi, ever the worrier. For once, however, his solicitude is most welcome. May you help us dispatch of those fell creatures? Have you no pride, sister? A seed seer does not beg the aid of some common adventurer? Enough, brother. We have a duty to perform, a duty that takes precedence over your silly notions of pride. Now, enough talk. Let us see to these pests. And that is the duty complete. Noted. I will be heading there right after this. That crystal. Do my eyes deceive me? Or does this inherit the legacy of Atawakant? It was none other than Atawa himself who last performed the quieting. No, I do not believe this adventurer's arrival to be mere coincidence. Rather, a bearer of the soul crystal, inheritor of arcane knowledge long since forbidden to those of our kind. I know not why it is you he chooses, but I believe our great forefather has led you to us today. Ancient tradition dictates that the quieting be performed by 3 pajals. But I misspeak. The ritual is to be performed by 3 white mages. If Master Atawa truly has chosen this adventurer as his successor. You speak madness, sister. Surely you have not forgotten the Pajali tradition strictly forbids sharing the teachings with those not of our kind. The power of white magic is far too great to risk it falling into the wrong hands. And so you would uphold tradition merely for tradition's sake? Even at the risk of incurring the Great One's wrath and bringing disaster upon our forest home? Have you so little faith in your own abilities, sister? We are seed seers, more than capable of slaying any beast in our way and carrying out the ritual on our own. This petty bickering is getting us nowhere. Adventurer, I am sorry to trouble you with our silly sibling squabbles. Alliteration! If you've the time, I would speak to you further. But not here. Come to Camp Tranquil, and come quickly. Time is of the essence. Camp Tranquil! The white mage is leading me to a tank chocobo. It literally wants me to get the chocobo quest. Sure, we can do some dungeons. I'm finally at the point where I can do that. Besides, gaining level 15 gear and getting that up to maxing it up for materia would be an interesting course of action, wouldn't you say? Besides, with the fact that it would be set to level 15, and if we were to be equipped with level 15 gear, then it wouldn't really affect anything else. There's also a quest I can take that can get me a unicorn mount. Thank you for coming, adventurer. Forgive my brother's rudeness. You cannot help that he was born with a head of solid stone. Anyways, I do not believe we have been properly introduced. I am Rhea Osina, a Paja, as you can see, and sister of the Elder Seedseer. You are Kiara, yes? Brother Isumi has spoken of you, most highly at that. As you no doubt heard, my brother Arun and I were en route to the Guardian Tree. There, the Great One, by whose graces we dwell here, resides. The gentleness of guardians when at peace. The gentlest of guardians when at peace, a destructive force that knows no bounds when angered. As the Great One goes, so goes our fate. The creatures you helped us dispatch, doubtless they too were roused to hostility by the Great One in his anger. You need only look around to see the forest grows more and more threatening with each passing hour. So it is that we traveled here to quell the Great One's fury by performing the rite of quieting. In old days, the ritual was without fail, performed by 3 white mages, with our elder sister occupied by her many duties, and my brother and I thought to attempt it on our own. Arun was quite confident, but I had my doubts. It was then that you arrived, and shortly thereafter became one of the few chosen to be gifted with the White Mage's Soul Crystal. 'Tis no small honor. That gem marks you as an inheritor of the magic of our ancestors. My brother's pride may blind him, but the signs are clear to me, or as day to me. You are not a Pajali, but Atoakant meant for you to be here today, to perform the ritual with us. Atoakant is known as, or to all, as the greatest of the greatest as one of the greatest mages in our history. But even more so, he was known for being something of an eccentric. In defiance of tradition, he bid farewell to his forest home, wandering the realm and healing the wounds of the land and its people wheresoever he went. A most admirable cause, yes. But alas, Atoa was never to return. He perished in a far-off land, and having taken no apprentices, his legendary powers were lost to us for eternity. Or so I believed, until I met you. And yet, for all his stubbornness, there is some truth in my brother's words. Ancient law forbids us from sharing the teachings of white magic outside of our own kind. There are reasons for this, which I would share with you when the time is right. There are many who would not approve of this arrangement. Still, I am convinced that it is Atoa's will that we bring you into the fold, and so I welcome you, Kiara of the White. I can feel the Great One's fury welling up even now. Time is short, and yet, while you may have been chosen by Atoa, I fear your journey as a white mage has yet to begin. Return to me when you have further honed your skills, and we shall proceed with your training. Complete the quest. I am now a white mage. The next white mage quest, 35. I'm already that level, but that's fine. I have job now. You have obtained a soul crystal. Soul crystals are required to change from your current class to a more specialized job. Each job has its own crystal and arms, which can be equipped via the armory chest. When using a job, you will have limited access to actions from other classes. You will, however, have access to new job-specific actions. Job levels coincide with those of the base class. When the job level rises, so too does the level of the base class, and vice versa. Jobs that do not have a base class, however, will start from the level required to unlock them, and their level can be raised independently of other classes and jobs. Conjurer to White Mage. As the actions from Conjurer may also be used as playing White Mage transferring. Transfer. Subcommands. Delete set. Add White Mage. I am able to read your messages. They are beside the thing, or they are in the chat on the side of the screen on my PC, on my laptop really. And yes, I can see them. One, I might not be looking over at the screen at the time. And two, there is a 10-second delay between anything I do and what happens to the stream. You're the left mate, so you are the one I want to talk to. My feisty little chocobo. Except... Sniff, sniff. The unmistakable smell of a chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? I thought so. Now, tell me, is your bird battle-trained? If not, you might consider seeking the advice of Laquat over at Bent Branch Meadow. The Ishgardian native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning our fine feathered friends. He might be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. Thank you for being understanding about that. Okay, so I have to go to Bent Branch now, which is up in Central Shroud. Okay, I'm going to go and get the Chocobo fighting companion. I'll be... After a couple of dungeons, I'll sort through the saddlebag and put all the crafting materials in it. That will definitely make more space in my inventory, but it'll take a bit of time. So let me know when you want to hop on then. By the way, there was only one choice to keep the character completely druid coded. And yes, I actually stayed that way for the duration of the lag. So you have an idea of what I'm working with here. Well, not lag. It's a delay. It is not lag. It was necessary for the setup of the chat box, alert box, and whatnot, including the border. And in the end, it'll be a lot more manageable than anything else, I think. Good evening to you, Kiara. Is there something you need? You wish to have your chocobo trained in combat? This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing. Asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will train your chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Very well. To begin with, we will need a bunch of geisha greens. You have my leave to pick one from the field over yonder. Return here when you have it. Have you acquired the greens? Superb! Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you already know this, but chocobos are highly fond of geisha greens. They love the leafy vegetables so much, in fact, that they would completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you. And then, once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You'll find that your chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird one in order and it will act accordingly, and to the best of its ability. This simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Vortemps family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, this is not enough to merely hear about a practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your chocobo with a bunch of geisha greens, and together make your way to Sorrel Haven. The broodses that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I recommend you keep an ample supply of geisha greens on your person at all times. Our resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. Fighting with your chocobo! And we cannot summon chocobos in dungeons. Are they talking about the feather trader? No. They must be talking about the arms repairer and such. Now, there it is. It is just north and west of here. So far, I only have the first 3 dungeons unlocked. That's fine. So far, I only have the first 3 dungeons unlocked, so I don't know if there's anything non-story related to unlock them. Ordering your chocobo once summoned. So you have successfully negotiated your first few battles with your chocobo. Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your chocobo could make up for your shortcomings, or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, I have one last parting gift. A saddlebag for your chocobo. Carrying geisha greens about can be quite cumbersome, after all. And there should be sufficient room for your personal belongings should the needs arise. I pray it serves you well on your travels. Available, spacious sack can be used to supplement your normal storage. Feature allowing for simple trade of items between saddlebag and personal retainer inventories. Chocobo companion does not need to be summoned to access the saddlebag. However, it cannot be opened while in an instance dungeon. Be sure to move items required. And there we go. Hooray, saddlebag indeed. And that all sounds like a good plan. Must own an apartment or an estate, or be sharing an estate. Now, let's go back to Southwood while we wait for my friend, and go about the rest of the white mage jobs, because we can. This portion of the stream is almost entirely going to be dedicated to the white mage job and all of its advancement. I can't even tell if there's anything that the Conjurer was able to do that the White Mage is not able to do. Uh... The duty roulette. Yep. I had never opened it before. Ah, Kiara. Looking ever more the white mage, I see. And yet, I fear you are as ready to perform the quieting ritual as a chocobo chick is to carry a wood whaler clad in full plate. But take heart, for we all must begin somewhere. Today I would teach you the art of communing with the elementals. This is, by any measure, the very foundation of our art. The means by which we preserve harmony between the forest and our people. Not far from Soriel Haven, you shall find a tree, a mere sapling in the shadow of the guardian tree, but one that has likewise been consumed by anger and fear. I would ask you placate this tree. The process is quite simple. Stand before the tree, raise your hands, commune with the elementals that reside within, and attune yourself to them until your feelings are in absolute harmony. Be forewarned, however, an angry elemental can be as stubborn as my dear brother. Do not be surprised if you find your honest plea rebuffed and foul creatures sent to drive you from the forest. No matter what happens, you must remain calm, dispatch the creatures, settle your heart, and speak with the tree once more. If your heart is true, your voice will reach the elemental ere long. Remember this, Kiara. Under no circumstances must you allow your anger and fear to overcome you. As practitioners of white magic, of the magic of succor and solace, such emotions are anathemic and opposed to our very existence. Words are weird. so much inventory space now. Let me know when you're about ready to do some dungeons. Only you can prevent force. I just read the name of the quest. I just read the name of the quest. As your Chocobo's rank increases, he will earn skill points. These points can be used to acquire new companion-specific actions and traits. There are 3 different skill trees you can choose for your Chocobo: Defender, Attacker, and Healer. As far as the first skill in any of these trees, you'll also learn that tree's stance. Activating the Defender stance will turn your Chocobo into defensive-minded steward. The Attacker stance will transform your Chocobo into an offensive force, and the Healer stance will have your Chocobo focus on restoring your HP rather than doing battle. How you choose to use your Chocobo's skill points is entirely up to you. And we will do that in a while. Companion. Skills. We're going to make Chocobo a defender. does not change appearance. Here we go. Okay. And I can adjust the size and stuff, the details of the chat box at a later date, but for the time being, the fact that it exists is good enough for now. A short while ago, I sensed a great anger abate. The forest is quieter, more welcoming now. It would seem you have passed your first test, Kiara. The trees are the elementals. The elementals are the trees. The lush verdure of the forest is inseparable from the spirits that dwell within it. But you do not need to hear this from me. Doubtless you have felt it yourself when you healed the tree. Above all else, the elementals prize harmony. When they sense a threat to harmony, they summon forth all the powers at their disposal to expulse it. For so long we have lived in peace with the elementals. Why now do they turn against us? I can offer no answers, only theories. But one thing is certain, we must quell the Great One's fury, and to do so, and do it soon, lest Gridania bear the full brunt of the forest's wrath. To soothe the forest wounds and restore harmony, that is our duty as mages of the White. It is our responsibility that transcends race or nation. I sensed your success in soothing the ailing tree, and am more certain of this than ever. Sadly, many cannot see past established practices and traditions, my dear brother among them. One would hope for a bit more open-mindedness given his youth, but alas, his pride as a Pajal will not permit it. For my part, I am not entirely unsympathetic to his concerns, and yet the task before us is too great. We must bring him around to see reason. But how? Forgive me, Kira. I would be alone with my thoughts for a while. Worry not, I will find a way to deal with our rune. And we get regen! Not going to be able to use it in a lot in the dungeons, I don't think. Yara, I owe you an apology. When last we spoke, I promised that I would find a way to convince my brother to accept you. But I fear he initially refuses to intently refuses to heed my words. Why, the more I try to reason with him, the more he shuts his ears to me. All pride and no common sense, that one. I can scarcely believe we are kin. So intent is he to prove that you are unneeded that he dashes out into the forest all alone, boasting that he would placate every last elemental and save the forest all by himself. Needless to say, such a task is far beyond his powers. There is a part of me that would like nothing more than to see this foolish boy learn his lesson and yet, as a sister, I fear for him. Would you go look after him? Yara, sincere or no, he is in many ways still a child, and the forest grows ever more unsafe these days. Though I thought to go myself, but if you were to save my brother from his own recklessness, perhaps we might finally see how fatuous he's being. When I last spoke with him, he announced his intentions to begin his efforts in the bramble patch. With any luck, you may still find him there. Now, please go in haste, before some ill fate befalls him. Okay, he is over in that side of things. Okay. I'll just get over to the area that I'm supposed to be in for it and invite you to party. Woohoo! Hang on. No. I thought I could actually... I thought there was a way to turn voice chat on here. Okay, well, I'm ready when you are. Alright, so I just have to wait for it to kick in. Okay. It seems there's a tank shortage at the moment, it says. That's true. And that's fair, I mean. Trying to figure out if there's actually a way to chat. As for me, yeah, no, my Gladiator and Marauder are not up to par. The only one that might be is Lancer. Lake Party. Oh. Oh, we're fighting Ifrit. We have no tank. My only job is to keep everyone alive. Hey, I did my job. Player commendation. Ah, yes, I do notice that bit about the color of icon reflecting the role of a party member. I'm now level 42. So, do you want to actually continue doing them? As it gives you a chance to level up your Dark Knight? Or do you want to... Wait, if you're in a party, can you also still apply the NPC companions? If it isn't my sister's favorite adventurer, come to show me up, have you? Well, you can march right back to sister and tell her I'm doing just fine. I am only resting. Even if I were hurt and unable to placate this tree, what could a run-of-the-mill adventurer like you do about it? The question was, do you want to continue doing dungeons, or do you want to attempt something else? Also, the question stands of whether or not, if we're in a party, can we still get the NPC members joined in with us? Also, I think your message might be getting buried in the... Well, we can figure that out. Huh, beginner's luck. You think healing a sapling or two is going to convince me that you are a worthy inheritor of the teachings of Master Altoa? Arun, you yourself do not believe those words. Sister, what are you doing here? Seeing to my pig-headed brother's safety. What do you think I'm doing? For better or worse, it would appear that you suffered only from bruises to your leg and your pride. Arun, for all your obstinity, I know that deep down you are no fool. No, you are wise beyond your years. You realize as well as I do that dire fate that will befall Gridania if we do not quell the Great One's fury and restore peace to the wood. The adventurer is not a Pajili. This is true, but what of it? Would you blindly trumpet tradition as the very forest turns against us and brings ruin to our home? Will you have a greater calling to answer? You know this. We have a greater calling to answer. You know this. I do, sister. Oh, my dear Arun. What are sisters for if not to forgive their little brother's fits of folly? Now, Kira, I believe the most important task of all still awaits us. Let us return to Camp Tranquil. Where did telling all mandatory Floorland dungeons have duty support? Duty support just refers to the presence of NPCs. Which of the 3 city-states do you want to go to most? Alright, as soon as I turn in this quest, I will head over there and we'll... I don't know if you have to be on the same server or not. Tell you what, I'm gonna hop in voice chat on our Discord. This will make it a lot easier. Because remember, I'm playing on console, so I have to select until I get to the right screen, and then from there, I need to go up, and then I can read. That's because I have an earbud on. Okay. My Discord is on my phone. I have an earbud in. And for my stream, I have a microphone right near my mouth. Different devices entirely. Yeah, That was part of why I said about the Discord. Yes, you can make a new tab, yes, but it's the scrolling through to try and keep track of everything that's the problem. I'm going to be voicing a character now. Kiara, thank you. I knew it was only a matter of time before our room came around to reason, and yet his hesitance to accept you was not entirely unfounded. When we first met, I promised that one day I would share with you the tale of how white magic came to be regarded as forbidden art. Well, I suppose this is as good a day as any for the telling. The tale begins some 3 millennia ago, when in the fifth astral era. It was the time of the endless frost, when the barren wastelands of snow and rime stretched as far as the eye could see. Food was scarce and warmth scarcer. The histories told many a grim tale of those who died in their beds, starved and benumbed. So did our ancestors discover magic, born of the most fundamental instinct, survival. In time, the winter thawed and the magic was no longer essential for survival. But, once awakened, it was to its conveniences. There was no returning to how things once were. Ere long, the people discovered all the myriad ways in which magic could be employed, and civilization flourished. But prosperity breeds contempt, and nations warred for power and riches. So did the people seek greater and greater power, to rain destruction down on their enemies. So was born black magic, the most devastating form of sorcery the world had seen. At the same time, another form of magic emerged, brought forth by those who would keep this immense destructive power in check. That is white magic, our magic. Does this surprise you? Just as there can be no dawn without night, the white and black are but two sides of the same coin. War raged on, and magic was used and abused with little concern for the consequences. And consequences there were. Unchecked use of magic soon dried the flow of ether, threatening to bring blight to the land. The magic of healing? It made little difference if used with no concern for the ether. Our magic could prove as ruinous as to the land as the most devastating black magic spell. And so it was that the practicing of white magic was forbidden, with one exception. The Pajal. Our kind were entrusted with the soul as the sole shepherds of the now forbidden art, to serve as healers and bringers of peace while ensuring that great power would never again be misused. Though he is still young, our room feels this profound sense of responsibility as strongly as any of us, thus his hesitance in accepting you. But having seen your abilities and the sincerity of your intentions, you can rest assured his doubts have been dispelled. With the three of us united in place and purpose, and your skills ever growing, but the day we may perform the quieting draws near. To our fortune, the Great One has not yet been entirely consumed by fury, but our time remains short. To commune with the Great One, and to restore the Twelveswood to its former state of harmony, we must truly be of one heart, one mind, or one of mind. It is to this end that Atoa Kant has guided you to us. Further your mastery of our art, Kiara, and let us mend the wounds of the world together. Complete this one, we get Cure 3. Hooray, hooray. Now I'm going to go ahead and teleport to where we are going, the city anyway. Yes. I've already limited a lot of... I've removed general because I'm streaming and I don't want anything that could get me banned to pop up from that. General is literally just system messages and party messages at this point. Yeah. I'd done that a while before and... yeah, and all the items and everything else. Yeah. This way. Okay, I am in the city. It is the layout of this city and Aldun that also made me decide Gridania's where I'm basing. Gridania is nice. It's not too big. They all do. They all have two areas. Okay. Airport. Well, I mean, the places where the leaders are their own separate areas, but I'm not counting them. Which is just the steps that lead to the leaders area. Oh yeah. I should know that since I have the alchemist class. I think it might actually send me in separate from you. If I try. Maybe. Maybe if you're in the same server as me, it will count you in the party as well. The funny thing is, these are the same NPCs every time. Well, because I've been white mage, but those exact three. Duty Finder. Lower on the list is a button, you said. Oh, duty support. Uh, okay. Well, that is good to know. So, what do you want to do? Well, I can't do more white mage quests until at least level 45. I'm only level 42.9. Okay. Okay. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main quest then. It does add up. But honestly, this is closer than Gridania would be. This is the exact same map as the quest. I took that into account. So, there was aught to be found in the woods. What did you come to? Garleans? In this part of the Twelveswood? First sylphs, now Garleans. And all at the same place. It cannot be mere coincidence. Might the Garleans be following the sylphs? Tracking them, or giving chase perhaps? Mayhaps. But, no. Not this far into the forest. The Whalers' spies are everywhere. Imperials could never have stolen past them all. How in the bloody hells could they, unless someone guided them through? Someone who knew where the spires stand. And when the Whalers watch, a Gridanian traitor. And now to accept another quest from him. I didn't mean to interrupt you with the voice. It was literally the fastest way to get there. I'm glad you've come, friend. I know, and I will keep that in mind. There will also be more ways of earning gil. I know that, and at the same time, exactly. I'm glad you've come, friend. There's something I want to talk with you about. You know, I said I thought we might have a traitor in our midst, someone as was aiding the Garleans. Well, I'm thinking I might have identified our suspect. There's a regular of mine who used to dine on thin soup and sip his pint on account of not being able to afford another. But of late, he's taken to ordering my best wines and the finest cuts of meat I can lay my hands on. Were he a merchant, I'd probably think nothing of it, but the lad's a wood whaler. And wood whalers don't earn that kind of coin. By chance, I was musing on where the money was coming from when you first told me about the Garleans in the forest, and I couldn't help putting two and two together. Suffice to say, if a whaler's working for the Empire, none of us are safe. The lad I'm talking about goes by the name of Laurentus. Last I heard, he was in South Shroud. Find him, Kiara, and if he is up to no good, put an end to it. And him, if it comes to that. He just told us to kill a guy. Okay. I'm going to have an energy shot. I say energy shot, but it's only one cup of coffee's worth of caffeine. So I'm muting my stream mic. Yeah, the energy shots are only a single cup of coffee's worth of caffeine. not too much. Alright, so I gotta find Laurentis. There he is. That's not a suspicious place at all. You not see I'm on patrol? Be gone. If you have business with the whalers, take it to the barracks. Yeah, I don't think this is a patrol. Not long now. To think patrol routes and rations would fetch such a price. No more than I deserve, though. It is little wonder the Empire's risen up to such heights. If only the whalers paid men their worth. You! What did you... How long have you... Help! 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 Please, come quick, my friends. It is I, Laurentis. I am under attack. My chocobo had already been dismissed by then. How did you just... I know nothing. I was on patrol. He just appeared. I thought you were working with the Garleans. Yeah, that's not... You're not fooling anyone. Level sync is in effect. I wonder if my chocobo can still join me. How long do you mean to keep this up? What is it you imagine I've done? Enough! Enough, I say! It's over then. I sold maps and rations to the Empire. It was I meant no harm, I only wanted the coin. The whalers are good, strong. I was proud to join their ranks, am proud. But they do not provide. They preach justice and honor, duty. But in the end, it is those with money who do as they will, who live as they will. So I sought an opportunity to change my fortunes, and took it. All I've done for money. Endangered myself, my home, everything and everyone I love. My actions put your life in danger too. And he broke. Though you do not realize how much. Bloody idiot. Did you imagine you had me cornered, or cornered me? It is not I who is cornered. I need to plug my phone in real quick. Garleans, I've brought the I am not finishing that one. Permit me a question, if you will. Are all adventurers so deluded as to believe they can challenge the powers of Garland? You would need a veritable mountain of guilt to fund such an endeavor. Such is the cost of fighting great power, or of making it, or of remaking it, as we will with Danya. So that is the way of it. Swapped your hard bunk in the barracks for a feathered bed in Garland, did you? You there, Elvin, you stand here at old Busk's wish, no? Then you don't stand alone. Hey, I has a tank in the DPS guy here. And no, the chocobo does not come along. Unfortunate. All the bandits, poachers, and guards are on my side. With all the Garlandians down, now we just have to deal with this traitorous coward. Impossible. How did you best the Empire's finest? And with bandits and poachers at your side, they are your sworn enemies. Why do they fight with you and not against you? But I know the answer only too well. Buscaron. This is his doing. His words are wont to inspire men to act, better men than I. Gods, what have I become? What have I done? I am sorry. No more will I pursue this fully. No more lies. No more bribes. I will go to the Order of the Twin Adder and confess my crimes. There is something I would like to tell you, or like you to tell Buscaron. Tell him Laurentis the Fool says thank you. I feel as though a veil has been lifted from before my eyes. Sometimes people are stupid. That is me done talking about or voicing the characters, the NPCs. I admit my mouth, face, and throat were kind of done at some points in the story quest in this area. It can be a lot. But I do this to myself. Yes, commit to the bit. I learned to confess to his crimes. I just had word from the twin adder. Seems he marched straight into their nest and gave himself up. The lad had quite a life, you know. His mother was killed by a brigand when he was only small. As a young man, he joined the whalers, hoping to spare his fellow Gridanians the misery he'd known growing up. Trouble is, protecting Gridania is too big a job for one man, and he came to believe that he couldn't make a difference. That it was hopeless. There are few things more dangerous than desperation, and a man lost in the dark is easily drawn to the glimmer of coin. I reckon he thought that if he couldn't change the lot of his fellow man, he might as well change his own. Thing is, he was making a difference, just not on his own. Somehow, he'd failed to grasp that one simple truth, that those things we cannot do alone, we must do together. He asked you to thank me, he did. Or did he? And there's good in him yet. I just hope them at the adder's nest are able to see it. What he's done ain't easy to forgive, but I'd like to think he'd be afforded a chance to make amends. But let us leave fate to the 12. I have other news for you, Kiara. The Sylph Elder has been found. Yay! The thing we actually came here for. And level 43. It's taken us a fair odd while, but we finally got our hands on some reliable information concerning the whereabouts of your missing green friend. Ahem, his name is Phrixio, and he is the eldest among the sylphs of Little Solace. Long has he represented his kind in dialogue with the Gridanians. Yes, he's like a bridge between us and them. A small, leafy green bridge. And we can't find at the moment. And bridges are of no use if you don't know where they are. That's why it's so important we find them. Ida. I feel like Yida is very much... They are a very funny character. There's an abandoned dungeon called the Thousand's Maw of Toto Rock here in the South Shroud. It was by the entrance of the place that Phrixio was seen, and not too long ago neither. If you hurry, I reckon you'll find him. Walking ones, please help this one. This one needs help. Needs help to help Elder One. Poor Phrixio. Poor Phrixio. Whoa. Hold your chocobos. Take a deep breath and tell us what's wrong. Nice and slow. The other one went to Toto Rock, but has not returned. This one is worried, so very worried. And right you are to be. The place crawls with the nasties, waiting to make a meal of anyone daft enough to wander in. What in the seven hells was he thinking entering the bloody death trap? Elder One had no choice. Imperial ones were chasing Elder One. Please, walking ones must hurry, must help Elder One. Help Elder One now! The fates conspire against us. Forgive my pragmatism, but Phyrexio is our best hope of reaching an accord with these sylphs. Were we to lose him, all our efforts thus far will have been for naught. I will tend to her wounds. Ida, make haste to the adder's nest and request assistance. Understood. Which leaves me to go into the Death Maw and find the little guy. Kiara, go to the Thousand Maws in Toto Rock and see that Phyrexio comes to no harm. Please, peace between man and self is up to your success. Quest accepted! New dungeon to be unlocked. The only thing I'm worrying about now is when I get the cosmetic changes to my Chocobo regarding their role I mainly use them for. I thought that actually happened, but maybe it's just something you do like when you master classes or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? Interesting. Okay. Oh, I currently have 1,000 serpent seals. Yeah, I need 2,000 to be able to get a promotion. But now I need to do more reading. By order of the Elder Seed Seer, the dungeon known as Thousand Maws of Tutorak has been placed under control of... What? The Sylph Elder is inside? And you're sure of this? How in the seven hells did he manage to sneak in? Or sneak by? God strike me down for a pure blind fool. You must find the Sylph Elder before he falls prey to the fiends within. Entrance to Totorak is ordinarily restricted, but there are exceptional circumstances. What these are. Pray assemble a rescue party and enter as soon as you are ready. And now I have access to a dungeon. With a party of NPCs. The Marauder, the Thamarge, and the Lancer. All the same ones, too. Cosmetic, even. I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up at level 45 at the end of this either. Dungeons give a good amount of experience points, as far as I've noticed. Dangerous fauna encountered upon entering cave. Well, all I know is that when I clear a dungeon in the storyline, I get a lot of experience. That they are. After this, I will probably go back to Britannia before I use the ticket to go back to the Scion base. And I will find the achievement Moogle. I think it was a Moogle. I know it's a Grail symbol on it.